Hello everyone, how are you? I hope you're having a fantastic day. I'm just jumping on here to show you quickly how we whip up jam in our Thermomix. So this is a favourite recipe in our house. We don't do jam very often, so normally I'd actually do, well I will actually do today if I remember, a half batch. This is my favourite jam. It's called the Berry Chia Jam. It's from Louise Fulton Keats's cookbook on cookiedoo.com.au. Sorry, shaking the head at the helper that was about to come in the door. And I'm trying to be fast, so I'm like, no helpers today. I hope you're having a great one though, so please put in the chat if you're watching the replays and things like that. So this has 250 grams of strawberries and 250 grams of raspberries. Now I'm just going to put into it just 250 of, what have I got here? I've got some mixed berries that need using, so I'm not using fresh berries, I'm using frozen. Going to empty that packet out. Lovely to not have that in the freezer. And this one, and then we're going to skip the next 250 berries because we've got these ones, and it helps me remember to do the half batch because jam in our house, my kids will just eat it way too often and they do not need sugar. They are crazy. All right, on with the lid and the measuring cup. And all it's doing here is it's going to dice them down. Now I've actually got frozen, so mine are going to need a bit longer dicing. I'm just thinking I've left my measuring cup, excuse me for a moment, on the dish drainer. So mine's going to take longer than 2 minutes to dice down being frozen. Let's have a look at that. So that's actually not far enough. Those strawberries are really frozen. So what I'm going to do, it's had a good go at the smaller things, the berries and the blueberries, but those strawberries barely looked knocked at all. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to freestyle it. I'm going to spin it up to speed 8, give it a couple of seconds up there at speed 8. Could you hear the difference then? You could hear when it was actually now clearly spinning without chopping too much. That was the time to stop. Check that out. Perfect. Frozen fruit dust. Looks amazing. Scrape down the sides with a spatula. Oh yeah, I've got one up here. Now it's wanting more berries. Not going to do that. Now we're wanting some sugar. So 35 grams of raw sugar will go in. Because I'm halving my recipe. Hit the tear button, make your scales go back down to 0. Okay. You can see as I touch the machine, because the machine's a set of scales, you can see it bounces if I, oh, a little bit high, that's okay, if I touch the side. Alright, now we've got this thing called Agar powder. It is a thickener. I don't have that on hand, but I do have Agar gum, which will do a similar job. So I'm going to put 3/4 teaspoon in. This stops you needing to have the pectin in, which is normally the thing that helps thicken. This will thicken instead. So if you've got gluten-free cooking, you would be familiar with Agar and Gar gum and xanthan gum. Okay, next up we've got chia seeds. Oh, I'm sure this has chia seeds in it. Must be at the end. All right, here I was just about to go, oh no, I've made a mistake. Place the simmering basket on top. So I'm actually going to use my splash guard for my TM6 instead, just because what that does is it allows, well, it's smaller for the dishwasher, but it still allows the steam out just as quick. So 8 minutes, 100 degrees, speed 1. Now mine won't take 8 minutes. It is frozen, so it will take longer than fresh. It'll probably take about 6 minutes. So I'm going to just turn my timer down to 6. What I am looking for though is that it makes it to 100 degrees. Now I'm going to use my 3 dots to see what the next step is, to check that these chia seeds go in at some stage. Got them out. Okay, so we cooked this for the 8 minutes or 6 because I'm doing the half batch, and 100 degrees reverse speed 1, placing the simmering basket on top. Add chia seeds and cook for 30 seconds, 100 reverse speed 1, placing the basket on top, and then we transfer it to two jars, 250ml jars, and put in the fridge until ready to use. So it's such a simple and quick recipe. I'd really say give it a try at home. If you want to leave out your sugar, I reckon you could actually pull your sugar down a little bit and add an apple or something like that in to bring a bit of sweetness to it. My kids have this so sparingly and so irregularly that it doesn't matter for us to have that little bit in it here. But I definitely say if that's something you want to be mindful of, try it with the apple in it as well. There are quite a few jam recipes out there. This is my favorite. It is foolproof. It is perfect every time. Even if you go a little heavy-handed on the fruit or the sugar or any other parts of it, it kind of always works, which is what I love the most about it. So I would love to know in the chat, have you tried jam? Have you had a really big success or a really big fail with it? Because I've seen some massive fails over the time with jam, where it maybe the simmering basket hasn't been put on top and it splatters out and makes a very bright, vibrant kitchen. There's splatter marks everywhere. I've seen ones that have boiled over before, all sorts of crazy stuff with jam. So I'd love to know, tell me, have you loved jam in the Thermomix, or is it something where you've gone, oh, that's all too hard? And hopefully if you felt like it was too hard, this video inspires you to give it a go and actually realize that it's actually quite achievable and doable and something you don't need to buy anymore. You can know exactly what's in your food. You can even then buy your berries from local markets and know that your berries are fresh and, you know, seasonal and that sort of stuff. So you can then take it to whatever level you want there. But yeah, give us a shout if I can help you with anything regarding your Thermomix. I am here to support you to help you get the very most out of your Thermomix. So for those of you who don't know me by now, my name is Lisa. You'll find a whole lot of videos on my page to support you to continue to learn more about your Thermomix. So if you're wondering, how do I make this, or what do I do with this, or anything, dinner inspiration, jump on there, have a look. There's heaps of videos there that you can just scroll through, fast forward through the chatty bits if you want, and take the bits and pieces out that you want. I hope that you learn some hints and tips along the way with all these. That's really what I want you to do. That's where my heart is at, that you would actually get more and more every single time you tap in and watch a video. So that's what I'm on about. 3 minutes to go. It is smelling amazing. It is 98 degrees, so it's quite thick. It's quite up to hot now. It's very hot. The red on the front tells us that it's hot. So you will also, thinking about jams, find other ones on cookiedoo.com.au. So there are other ones to choose from. This is my one that's just my go-to. It's always perfect. You can use it as a coulis, you can use it in muffins, Mine are going to go on pikelets. So the 7-year-old has made pikelets this morning, the American style pancakes with just using gluten-free flour instead and almond milk, and they've just been cooked off. So that's actually why the jam is going with those. So such a great thing though that a 7-year-old can, and a 9-year-old and a 6-year-old can use a Thermomix and cook and feel like they've accomplished something. So that's what I totally love about the Thermomix, is it gives them that ability and that, you know, they're safe. I don't even need to watch them anymore. They just match up the scales. It's amazing to be able to, for them to be able to come and say, Mum, I want to make pikelets. Okay, off you go. And they go and make pikelets. So, and I come back and the kitchen is clean. Oh my gosh, that's the biggest thing. Let's tell you, I remember those days without a Thermomix where the kitchen was full of measuring cups and spoons and beaters and bowls, and you don't need that with a Thermomix. It's all in one. It's all done in weight. It's a game changer. It's so good. Anyway, I know I'm talking to converted. You guys watching all have Thermomixes, so you're like, you don't need to tell us that. So yeah, so good. This smells amazing. Absolutely amazing. Just one of the tips here with the sterilized jar, make sure you do sterilize your jars. Otherwise what happens is, because you're sitting them in a fridge, if you don't have a sterilized jar, chances are it'll go moldy. Now if you've put it through a dishwasher, the dishwashers do a really good job because of the heat in a dishwasher, so it's fine. It's more so if it's been sitting in a drawer for a long time or on a shelf and it's all dusty, don't want to be loading it up with food because it'll just grow. The outside of it will get the mold on it and it'll have to be wasted, and that's not fun for anyone. So if you do want to sterilize over the top, you could actually be putting your Varoma on top now. There's enough steam coming out of the top now to put your Varoma on top, and you could steam your jars on top. You can just do that over anything that's cooking inside though. So if you've got water inside or a soup, you could just steam your jars and make sure they're nice and sterilized. 3 minutes is all it takes. So that's another tip as well, but that's why they tell you to sterilize your jars. So anything like that sits in a jar for a while, you want to sterilize your jars. But we're nearly done, 40 seconds to go. How quick is it to make jam in a Thermomix though? Like, I remember before I had one, you just wouldn't have made it, right? Like on the stovetop, stirring. With the Thermomix, it does it for you. How good is that? That's 6 minutes that, I mean, I'm here talking to you guys, but in real life, if it wasn't COVID and I'm not in the pantry talking to you guys, I'd be off putting the washing on, helping my kids with their schoolwork, all that sort of stuff. So that's the beauty of the Thermomix, is it just gives you that hands-free cooking. How good is that? Alright, so chia seeds next. Now I've got black ones today, there's white ones, you can use whatever you've got, okay? And I even believe if you don't have them, you can leave them out. It just makes it a little bit runnier, okay? So by all means. Alright, it's doing the cool down. I'm not very patient at the cool down step. Alright. Yum. Look at that. Okay, 3 teaspoons. It says white chia seeds. I don't have white, I've got black. So I'm going for 1.5. Okay, just going to give this a scrape down, get the rest of that down. It looks amazing and it's thickened up beautifully. All right, 30 seconds and this is done. Ready for the kids to eat. So just sit that on top so that it doesn't splatter, but with 30 seconds it's not going to splatter at me. It's more stirring through those chia seeds. Now, because I'm serving it straight away, it'll probably be a little bit crunchy. Those chia seeds haven't had half an hour to kind of absorb that water in, or the liquid in there, to thicken up, but that's okay. The kids will just love it, so it won't matter. Anyway, guys, I hope you found this helpful for your Thermomixing. Please give this recipe a try. The Chia Jam Louise Fulton Keats cookbook on your Cookie Do platform. It's amazing, foolproof, works every time, and so versatile. You can use this on so many different dishes, from jam on scones through to things like on your muffins or on ice cream. It would be amazing. So have a great one, guys. Give us a shout if I can help you in any way with your Thermomix. That's what I'm here for. No question is ever a crazy question. But yes, I do hope that you'll give something like this a go in your Thermomix soon, and please share your pictures when you do. Bye for now.